You know who made it.
Live from LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. Wait, I mean X. Did I say Twitter? Sorry. It's a Revening's Whiskey Wednesday. Welcome to Whiskey Wednesday, Revenue Party people. Kate Irwin, happy Wednesday to you, Queen. You have been crushing it out there. Holy snap. She is like solopreneur, like on the rise. If you're not following Kate Irwin, everyone, go do that. But welcome to Whiskey Wednesday, November 8th. We've got hot topics, hot prizes, and hot guests per usual. But please, this show is about you and the audience. So I've gotten feedback. I know in the summer we were doing comments maybe a little too slow. And then last week I got feedback that maybe we were too fast and we should keep the good questions up. So let us know throughout, because we're trying to find the happy medium to make this a place for you to really engage and learn and gain information, network, and have fun. So let's get into it. I hate to share that Lydia is sick tonight. Unfortunately, just like in the last 20 minutes, she's had to head to the urgent care. We think she's going to be okay. We know she'll be okay. But just it sucks when someone gets sick, right? So sending Lydia all love. Everyone, can you please tag Lydia? Let's just spam her, blow her up, tell her how much we support her. She's a queen. She's amazing. Lydia, I'm missing you right now, but I'm going to go ahead and do this spiel here and let everyone know that we've got really great prizes tonight. So these are the hashtags I'll be putting up for you to enter to win those. I'm going to show you what they are here in just a moment. If you didn't see, we've got hot topics on tonight. We're talking about narratives, storytelling, tiki-taki, and we're going to be talking about the top of the funnel. So who here's on TikTok? Drop your TikTok links in here. I'm on TikTok. I want to know your TikTok. So I'm going to be checking these later so I can go back and follow everyone on TikTok. But we're going to be talking about that tonight, but also top of the funnel with the only Maria Bra. So I'm so excited to introduce you to her, as well as Kirsten Granados. And I'm sure, Granados. That's how you say it. And I said it incorrectly the first time, but I'm going to get it right throughout the show. Throughout the show, you'll be seeing me sharing these QR codes. So just real quick, what they all are. Get a free Le Tote. So this is a box of clothes for women. You know, like being a lady, what's business casual even, right? Like, why not get an app that curates it for you? I'm a big fan of technology, so I use Le Tote to curate my clothes based on weather, style, size, preference. So if you scan that QR code, you'll get one free box. If you don't like any of the clothes in it, you just send it right back. If you do like something, it's designer clothes and you get a discount on it. So check out Le Tote. Also, I've got a tip jar. I always appreciate, like people were saying like $3, $2. I love you. Like, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to keep it up here. Also, Cherry Assistant. Who out there needs a VA? It's hard to find a really great VA. And you all met DJ Kim last week. They have a system that helps line people up with a great VA. So that's how I met Renee, who has been helping me with Cherry Assistant. She's my full-time VA now. I feel so lucky and blessed. But thank you, Renee. If you know Renee, or Renee, if you're here in the comments, like speak up. People should go follow her, like her. She's the one who'll be reaching out to you if you win a prize. But also, I'm a StreamYard affiliate. So if you like what you see, just scan the QR code and you can get a little discount, and I get a cut as well. But I also teach how to use StreamYard in my coaching program, where we're building brands and building our personal brands, but also like doing it strategically. So Monday we go over strategy, Tuesday is leadership, Wednesday is MarTech, Friday is LinkedIn. But the entire program is about LinkedIn accountability. But we're looking at other channels as well, because this is about strategic marketing and learning how to be a marketer. So I've got salespeople who are promoted into marketing roles. We've got founders who are learning to build a personal brand. There's all types of people in there. It's group coaching. Come and join us. I would love to have you. But real quick, let's get into the prizes. Prize one, #marketing. If you want to enter to win 1 week free with the Taking Up Space online group coaching, that's my group coaching I was just talking about. You'll also get 10 free blogs with Key Rewriter. This is an AI tool that lets you like plug in all your keywords, and any marketer knows like all the SEO stuff that you're going to want to have, your long tail keywords. It writes the blogs for you. It puts it in the headlines, all the stuff that you would normally think of. But also, like, people are like, oh, but blogs don't matter anymore. But blogs do, because especially think of the next time OpenAI does a scan, you're going to want to make sure that you are still putting content out there. So check out Kiwi Writer, because it could really help you. And Cherry Assistant, get 30 minutes free with the DJ Kim. DJ Kim was the one on last week, and this is where he's going to like talk to you about your business. This is 30 minutes to like really pick his brain on business optimization and efficiency. And so then like, he's the one who has the tool and has created the tool to help line people up with VAs. But they're also doing things to just help people be more efficient. So take that 30 minutes with DJ Kim. And Buzz Builder, this is a cold email tool. You're going to get 6 months free if you enter to win this and you win it. You get Buzz Builder for 6 months and 10 hours of free virtual assistant service hours. Who here in the comments like would like to have a virtual assistant? Like, please press 1 if you would like to have a virtual assistant, or better yet, just like tag Buzz Builder and enter to win 10 hours free with a virtual assistant. And they haven't like said like, this has to be this task or this task. You get to come in and say like, this is what I'm hoping to get with those 10 hours. So this is a really great prize. And you, of course, want Lydia's Cracking the Cold email code. So this is Lydia's email course right here. So Buzz Builder will enter you to win those for prize 3. Prize 4, Luna.ai. Thank you for being a sponsor, Luna.ai. They're also doing cold email, but they're bringing in AI to help you with your cold email and to continue to improve what you're doing. It's actually really incredible, and you're going to want to check it out. So if you enter to win, you're going to get 3 months free on Luna.ai to check that out. But you're also going to get some free Grove Cookie Company cookies thanks to Luna.ai. But also thank you, Grove Cookie Company, for sponsoring Whiskey Wednesday. Who doesn't love cookies? If you like cookies, can you just say like drop some cookie emojis in the comments for us? But prize 5, #email lavender. If you haven't heard of lavender, like I think you might be living under a rock. But if that's you, then welcome to Whiskey Wednesday. Put #email. But also, if you have heard of lavender, but you don't have it, this will also be your chance to enter to win 1 year free with lavender. So definitely check that out, because it's an amazing tool that'll help you with your cold emails. So it helps you with not just like, the text, but it's like tone, and there's a lot more to it. So who here in the audience is using lavender? If you're using lavender, I would love to see who the lavender users are. Tag lavender in the comments, but also put #email to make sure you're entering to win. #headset gets you a headset from Headset Advisor. So hello, this is only for people who haven't previously won. So you can't win like multiple headsets. We do have a record of it. But yes, #headset will enter you to win that headset. And prize 8, #sales. I'm going to let the guests explain these at the end of the show when we do the drawing, but I'll tell you really quick, when you're entering hashtag sales throughout the show, you're entering to win a blueprint from Kirsten. This is her TikTok blueprint, and it's a digital playbook. So you're going to see why you want this here in just a moment when you meet her. But also 30 minutes with Maria. This is, I wish I could enter to win. So this is a strategy session for any frontline manager responsible for pipeline. So if you're here, you're not responsible for pipeline, this might not be the prize for you. But for those, I think most of our audience is in sales and marketing. So put hashtag sales to enter to win. You're going to want to meet Maria. She's incredible, and I can't wait to introduce you to her. But before I do, next week we've got on Melanie Borden as well as Christopher Daly coming on. We have it's going to be an executive show. We're talking about executive topics. So we hope all of you will come, because I know everyone who watches Whiskey Wednesday is either as an executive or a future executive. Hello. But let's bring in our guests, Kirsten and Maria. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm sorry I pronounced your name incorrectly. Hopefully I corrected it correctly, though. All right.
All good, no worries.
Thank you. So, you know how it is, like, when you read someone's name for years and like you don't know like phonetically how to say it, it's just so interesting then when you finally like learn how to say it. So I'm sorry about that, but I've been following you forever because you are, let's just say, a badass, Kirsten. I'm going to give you this 2 minutes to fill in and tell everybody why they should go follow you and connect with you. But you've built an incredible business and you're helping people bring in revenue through TikTok. So that alone is incredible. I'm going to put you full screen with our 2 minutes. Could you please tell us your full story? Like, we want to know, like, where were you raised? Where did you come from? How did you become who you are? And what led you to where you are today?
Thank you so much, Jesse. So first of all, I actually just wanted to clarify that. I help mostly in terms of like founders and companies to grow their brand and build their brand with video. Actually, TikTok is one of the platforms that I use, but I would say video is actually more of my main focus. And I wasn't always in terms of in the marketing industry. I actually used to be in the financial planning space for a little over plus 6 years, a very boring, unconventional space where there's not a lot of opportunity to express one's creative freedom. And in 2020, all right, where I grew up. Okay. So I grew up here in Orange County, California, Newport Beach, that area. I never really thought I would, in terms of like be in this industry growing up. I mostly saw myself either being in fashion design, to be honest. So this was like a whole just a unexpected adventure brought by the amazing LinkedIn community. So back in 2020, as you know, the world had this little thing called a pandemic. So I couldn't go anymore in terms of to expos and really do a lot of networking. And I would go to events before to mostly build relationships with accountants, estate planning attorneys, cross refer each other business and whatnot. So I had to learn how to start creating this thing called content. And back then, I really wanted to do video because I thought I'm not very good a writer. I was just intimidated by seeing a lot of these copywriters and whatnot. So I started posting videos about finance, tax planning, and making these very boring subjects into something fun and digestible. And so I started posting those videos on LinkedIn. And then with time, I accidentally didn't realize that those videos had blown up on TikTok themselves. So at the beginning, I had people reach out to me. They're like, whoa, you're actually getting business from there. You're not twerking on there. What's going on? You're not hula hooping. Like, yes, I was speaking to nurses. I was speaking to account executives. It was so much fun. And so throughout time, later then I started to expand to not only just helping in terms of solopreneurs with that, but ultimately really immersing myself into all things like video and sales because I realized I didn't want to just help people with certain aspects of personal finance. I had a lot of passion for that in that aspect. I still think it's something very important. There are aspects of it that I touch upon in my own personal TikTok account. But now, like on LinkedIn, I pretty much pivoted since 2022 to now that being my main focus. So really just helping blow the roof off of people's businesses with video.
I love that. Blow the roof off. That's incredible. And yes, I'm glad that you mentioned it's more than just TikTok because video can go everywhere. And I do a little video too, but I don't do TikTok. So I think that's why your TikTok stuff like stands out to me so much. But I'm on TikTok, but I don't help my customers with TikTok. That's what I'll clarify. But Maria, I would like to pass it over to you and do the same, put a 2-minute clock up and ask you to tell us the same, like introduce us to you. Where did you come from and what's your story?
I was on mute there. Hey everyone, so excited to be here, and Kirsten, I'm gonna need some help on TikTok because I've got like 2 dog videos posted on there. So I'd love some help there. But anyway, so my story, I have been in SaaS sales really the past over a decade now, dating myself. But you know, I grew up in DC. I live here in Charleston, South Carolina, USA, and I studied communication, Maryland, and I like thought, hey, I have no idea what I want to be when I grow up. I probably still don't know what I want to be when I grow up, but everyone's like, you're outgoing and you like talking to people, and I'm like, yeah, so you should be in sales. Like, I think a lot of people get that. Oh, you're an extrovert, you should go into sales. And turns out extroverts have a lot of trouble in sales because they don't shut up, and they need a lot of help learning how to listen. And so I struggled a lot in sales to starting out for sure for a while, and was not a natural at it. And that was actually like the biggest blessing in disguise because I really became like a learned salesperson. I had a great coach and manager who helped me to fall in love with sales and fall in love with learning, and grew a lot from that. And then ended up seeing success. I was like on a PIP, and then ended up going to President's Club 2 years later. So really big on like coaching and training and learning and testing different things out in especially top of funnel prospecting and targeting and messaging. Um, so so yeah, I mean that's really like how I started from an individual contributor, and then I built out an enablement program from the ground up. Like, just had to do sink or swim for onboarding and everboarding sales reps in a SaaS company here in Charleston. And from that, I led small mid-market AE teams, and most recently an SDR team at Revenue.io, which I had a ton of creative freedom and was able to test a lot of things out where from like the seller experience and as well as our messaging and our positioning, and became really passionate about like prospecting process. And so the prize from my end is really around pipeline, because that's where my expertise is, and have a lot of ideas that I've tested there and prompts that I've used with AI to help. I wouldn't say like make that more efficient necessarily, but to better understand your buyers and who you're targeting, especially when you're targeting a new industry or a new persona within your book. So that's really what I'm passionate about. I am a free agent as of now, and looking for my next opportunity. I am doing some consulting on this side for top of funnel go-to-market strategy, and yeah, excited to see what the future holds from here.
Sorry, I was on mute. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing your background, both of you, with us. And PIP to President's Club, like someone commented on that, and that's pretty awesome. Like, who here, if you're in the comments and you are not ashamed to admit it, have you ever gotten a PIP? Press 1 and put a 1 in the comments if you've gotten a PIP. 2 if you haven't. or 3 if you're just too ashamed to say either way. But I think everybody's gone through it, right? And I don't think it's anything that we should feel ashamed about, but like there's so much shame on it. So I really appreciate that you put that out there for people, and like you went from PIP to PEP President's Club. So see there, people, like there's still hope. But let's get into our first topic, because I know that we're a little bit over already, and we've got some really great topics and excellent knowledge here. So crafting compelling narratives. So Kirsten, I think this was your topic, the power of storytelling in business. And I feel really lucky to be able to hear from you on it. Can you kick us off on this? Like, what can you tell us about the power of storytelling in business, and how do we get there?
Absolutely. So I would say that in terms of, I'm going to relate this to the experience of going to the gym. I'm sure if many of you, work out or you exercise, I really believe that at core, drop a yes in the comments if anyone here works out or you go to the gym. I really believe that everybody at core, we have two identities. Like that's usually how we spend our lives. So the first identity is kind of like, I like to call it our little conch, our seashell, in the sense of like it's safe, it's predictable, it's what we've believed to be true about us for so many years. It's the path that we're most known for, and it's like the expectation that others have of us. We're doing the things that we know we're supposed to do. That's the first one. And then the second identity that we have, I would say, is our true core identity. So that core identity is the person that we dream of becoming, that person that we aspire to be. Maybe it's that person that you feel so fired up about when you see them on your Instagram. You're like, wow, that person is so strong. They're so resilient. And when it comes to storytelling, I think one of the mistakes that I see that a lot of business owners make is when they only believe in terms of that, okay, informational style content, or like when they're talking about in the format of blogs or whatnot, that it's enough to position yourself as the expert. Or for example, of people in the health space putting in, okay, here are the 5 benefits of cod liver oil, But the reality is that this is not enough to ultimately, that's not that person's ultimate challenge. And I think storytelling is one of the most underrated ways of really shifting beliefs, and speaking to people through their values, through their beliefs, through their core aspirations, who they want to become in the process, not only just the result. We're talking about the journey, what they're going to learn and acquire, the skill set because of achieving this result. Um, so when your content, like it speaks to the soul and you're speaking to, okay, what companies can imagine them experiencing, the aspirational experience they want to see either with their team, or maybe they want their sales team to be more confident, for speaking like in the hardcore B2B space, or if that founder, they want to experience a lower churn rate and they just want to feel calm and confident that maybe their content is doing the heavy lifting. So I really believe this is where storytelling comes in the sense of really illustrating to people, how can you get to that next level? Like this, the fact that you're sharing with them, what is the possibility? What is the potential outcome of you reaching, this level? So ultimately, showcasing and showing them the person that they need to be and they can become.
Sorry, I've put myself on mute again, but that was so good. I'm going to put myself off of the screen here. Let's get everyone back on here to chat about this a little bit. But oh man, I don't even know where to start with that. There were so many good things there. Like, what would be your, like, out of everything? So like, if there's someone here who needs to be good at storytelling, let's start there.
Everyone.
Right?
I think everyone. It's not a matter of like industry. I don't care what your industry is. I don't care in terms of like whether you are selling a $50,000 subscription. I don't care if you're selling a $7,000 coaching package. everybody, because people want to see themselves. They want to see themselves in the journey. They want to see themselves within the picture that you're painting. So I think if we are able to just be in terms of really specific and like descriptive in terms of how are people going to feel, what are they going to experience when they obtain this? Because the reality is this, like the number, the result, all of that is not relevant to them until they're able to see, okay, you know what? That's what I want to become. That's what makes sense. That is what future me would naturally do. That is in alignment with the superior version of myself.
I love that. Oh man. So how do you get into that mindset though? Like, I feel like so many people, I'm trying to think of what the audience would say. So audience, help me out here and ask some of the questions that you would want to know. But like, how do they get into that mindset? So you're a salesperson and you run into this situation where you need to tell a story. Like, how do you get into that mindset so that you can, narrate it so that they're being their higher self, like you just said?
Yeah, exactly. So one of the things that I would do is to kind of create a Venn diagram in terms of like
Mhm.
of where people are, in terms of what people think they need to do in order to reach that person, and ultimately what they actually need to do in order to like reach that end result in aspect, and interweave that with values, beliefs, and core aspirations. Because of maybe a lot of times people think, oh my gosh, I need to sell my soul, or I need to do cold calling in order to reach this. But you're like, I actually don't want to do that. I felt the way you felt. Maybe I felt found. That's something that I learned from this guy on my lot, in the aspect of relating to people. Like maybe you think this is what you need to do to reach this result. Maybe you think your team reposting your employee social media is enough in order to position you as an authority. But the reality is that's the old era of marketing. The people that are going to thrive are not doing things that are only going to help them uh, that are only going to help them survive. So get with the game, and then
Right.
showing them what they need to do to survive.
Yes, that's old school marketing. I love that. Even Nellie in the comments was like, and she's in sales. Everybody needs to be able to story tell. Maria, I would love to hear from you on this. When have you had to be a storyteller?
Yes. Yes, I would say like my personal life with my family, with my son, while I'm like actually reading stories or telling him stories and trying to get him, not to touch the stove because it's hot, and the time that I burnt my hands. So I think like that's one piece of it, but also in my professional life too. I think that's how we connect with people. I remember this past week I saw Jane Goodall, and she told that she was the most. I finished watching her, and I was like, she's the most incredible storyteller. I want to just get up and go and do everything that she just stands for right now. So I think like that's the power of it. So if you could get really great at becoming a good storyteller, then the world is your oyster. I think it's a really great skill to learn.
Absolutely. And well, while we have you still up there, I'm going to transition us into the second topic, top of the funnel GTM strategy and seller experience. So, can you kick us off on this? This is your topic. Like, teach us something. What can we learn from you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is a huge topic, and it's one of the pieces that I've spent majority of my career on as an individual contributor and an enablement, and I think that it's changed so much. So I thought that it was worth sharing two pieces in relation to storytelling. The first one being the stories that we tell in outbound prospecting to our potential buyers, right? And I think that's one of the biggest problems that I'm seeing right now when I talk to my clients or when I'm, just having conversations with peers is the fact that, we're just like spraying and praying and like just going after everyone and doing this whole big volume approach. And you'd be amazed at the number of trainings that I've done where, I asked a group of salespeople, so tell me like what are the biggest problems that you solve? And they say very broad problems. Oh, we solve inefficiencies. We help you generate X amount more revenue. But it's like, okay, well, I get it. Like, that's great, right? That's important to, the like high level talks. But if we could really get specific about like understanding our buyer's world, how do those, tell me about these inefficiencies. How do they manifest in their day to day? What does that look like? And that's where it gets really, really tricky. Where most reps that I've spoken to are they they don't know. And maybe because they sell something super complex, but I think that's one of the areas that we really have to get clear on when we're prospecting and we're going after new markets. And for, I feel like the longest time until ChatGPT, this was a really difficult thing to do absent of a lot of experience. Like, oh yeah, you just have to have decades selling into this one industry or this one persona to gain this credibility. But I think what's awesome is that today we can ask, there's so much information that, out there to learn about our buyers, in addition to asking them directly and like learning from recordings of your peers and things. So anyways, I just thought that was important to bring up, of really getting to know your buyers, to be able to tell the stories of their peers and what they're doing differently to solve problems. And that is what I've seen to be super effective in starting conversations with your ideal buyers that aren't shopping for what you sell, because they likely aren't, right?
Yeah, that's a great point. So, man, there's a lot to unpack there. So you're basically tying in storytelling with GTM, top of funnel strategy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, we talk about storytelling a lot when it comes in from even discovery, but mostly like demos and customer success stories specifically. I know there's a lot of great marketers in the room, but I think that it needs to start from the building demand and in our conversations and outreach to our buyers. And that just comes with having a really good understanding of their world and getting specific about how the problems manifest to them specifically, like in targeting like with the end user or the person that's closest to the problem versus their manager versus an executive member. We have to tailor that to the different roles and how it impacts them specifically.
That's pretty awesome. What might you add on all of this, Kirsten?
Oh my gosh, that was, oh, I'm just like processing right now in terms of like what you're saying. I'm still like digesting it right now. I am mentally chewing on it, girlfriend.
No, I hear that. And selfishly why I passed it over to you, because I'm doing the same. But
I'm like, whoa, there, she just dropped it like it's hot.
She really did. And then I dropped it on.
That should be a TikTok video. That should be maybe my third TikTok video. I will drop it like it's hot about go-to-market, seller strategy, storytelling. That's a great idea.
Yes, drop it like it's hot and then do a little twerking, right?
I mean, I'm not sure a lot of people would want to see that, but I am down for the views.
I only mentioned that because Kirsten brought up twerking earlier, so I couldn't help myself. And I'm pretty sure that it was Topher in the comments who picked that up and was also commenting on it. So I couldn't help myself. But yeah, I don't know. GTM, top of the funnel strategy. I would love to hear from people in the audience. I mean, we've got Randy Sue here. She's doing some awesome stuff. Sarah R., Lauren, Virginia.
Virginia, that's a great point.
What did Virginia say?
Virginia did say could be the same story, but different viewpoints for each different audience. I love that. It's almost like you're thinking of different characters with the same story. I think that was really great input, Virginia.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for that, Virginia. And real quick, everyone, we have some really great odds on prizes right now. So I'm going to make sure that I keep these keywords up here. But again, hashtag marketing right now has 1 entry. Cherry Assistant has 1 entry. Buzz Builder has 0 entries. Remember, that's 6 months on Buzz Builder. There was Lydia's course, email course with that, and 10 hours of free virtual assistant service. So even if you just I don't know, wanted someone to, I don't know, Renee, you're there. What's a typical virtual assistant type of work with data entry, stuff like this. So 10 hours. So Renee helps me with all types of things, my virtual assistant. But yeah, tag Buzz Builder. There's no entries on that one. Luna's got quite a bit. Hashtag email has 0. So if anyone does not have Lavender in the audience, make sure you're putting in hashtag email for Lavender. The headset has 7 entries, and Wishly Group. So Wishly Group is actually really incredible. So Anish, he was a founding member of Rev Genius, and now he's working with so many big names. He just did with Morgan Ingram and Jen Allen, and they had they helped him with what did they call it? They had their event in Toronto, but they were leveling up, and it was huge. So like they're doing huge things. You're going to want 30 minutes with Anish because he's brilliant and he's actually helping people grow pretty big revenue generating businesses right now. I mean, he's ex Pinterest, ex Coca-Cola, but he's also worked with several startups. So get that 30 minutes with the Wishly group. You've got to tag them. So just with the @sign, it doesn't have to show in the comments. You just want to actually tag them. So if you put the @sign, type in Wishly group, and then tag them on LinkedIn, that's how you'll enter to win. But our third topic for tonight that Kirsten's kicking us off on is beyond information, the impact of educational content on audience engagement. So we're going to be getting into this one here in just a moment, right after these messages.
If you have a business or a side project, you need a virtual assistant. If you want free time or fun time, you need a virtual assistant. Virtual assistants can do everything from answering emails, managing your calendar, or even calling your mom. I run my own agency, I have e-commerce stores, and I still have time to travel, hang out with friends and family, and even pick up new hobbies because my virtual assistants take up my day-to-day work. If you're interested in trying out virtual assistant, play our game with Whiskey Wednesdays and enter the prize to see if you win 10 hours with one of our best virtual assistants. Thanks Whiskey Wednesdays for having us.
What's up, Whiskey Wednesday? Anish here from the Wishly Group. Super excited to be one of the brand new partners for this incredible community. Huge shout out to Jesse and team for what you built here. It's truly special, and I love being a part of it. For those of you who don't know who I am or why I'm here, I'm one of the founding members of Rev Genius. It took us from 0 to 5,000 members in just a few short months back when I was there. And now I get to work with folks like Morgan Ingram and Kevin Dorsey on scaling out their business operations. And that's exactly what the Wishly Group's about. We help small, medium-sized companies scale out their businesses by helping them out with sales and marketing efforts. That's really what we're about. And we know a lot of folks in this audience are those revenue professionals. You're either a founder, a marketer, a sales leader, or sales rep even. And we know that everyone has their own fair share of struggles. For those who don't know, I'm also ex-Pinterest and ex-Coca-Cola. I worked on some of the biggest accounts in the world, closed $50 million in B2B high-ticket sales with just myself. Jesse, I hope that's a fun enough contest for the crew. Really appreciate you having me here, and cheers, everybody. Have fun.
Hey, Whiskey Wednesday. This is Steven, and I'm one of the founders and CEO of Luna.ai. A bit about us. Luna is an all-in-one B2B sales platform, meaning that we're using AI to find your perfect leads, scour the entire internet to find every piece of information there is to find, and then use this information to write mind-blowing sales emails. And they're not just random emails, because Luna learns from all of your feedback and all of your preferences to write emails just like you would have done it yourself. And the best part is, as soon as you've trained Luna enough, you'll unlock autonomous mode, meaning that Luna will start reaching out to prospects on your behalf. Well, we are super excited to be part of Whiskey Wednesday, and we're looking forward to welcoming a few lucky viewers and have them win a premium account with us. And if you're not one of these lucky viewers, no problem at all, because we also have a free plan which you can use to take Luna for a spin. See you soon.
Awesome. Well, let's get into that third topic, but big thanks to our sponsors. And it looks like the Wishly Group still only has one entry. So you're going to want to get that 30 minutes with Anish. So definitely tag the Wishly Group. But let's get into this third topic, beyond information, the impact of educational content on audience engagement. Now, everyone's all about educational content these days, Kirsten. So what can you tell us about this?
Oh goodness, I'm about to ruffle some feathers in this house, but I'm really fired up to dive into this. So I know a lot of people here say, y'all just need to add value, just add value. And people are going to be all up in your DMs, it's the hot sauce. However, here's the thing. in a world where we are inundated by PDFs, like more polished than Picasso, and carousels like longer than like an episode of Friends. We need to understand what is actually the type of content that doesn't friend zone yourself with your audience and your target clients. Because the thing is, just having nice comments of people saying, you know what, that was a great post. That was super informational. That was super educational. Does not fatten up your Stripe account. Let's be for real. So I'm going to talk about why it's really important to understand the different buyer types within your audience, because a lot of people overlook this, and it's the reason why people struggle to see consistent sales through their content. People may think like, you're amazing, you're awesome. They may DM them, voice note them, video message them, but ultimately they're not signing those contracts. So we need to understand that different buyer types are motivated by different things in order to make a buying decision. People buy from people. They really want to feel seen and heard. And at their core, that's why it's so important for us to understand what actually activates people for them to buy. Some people are going to be honestly more focused on stats, on more in terms of like percentage. They're going to be driven by data. They're going to be more technical than some engineer from Apple. You know, they want to know everything before they do anything. That's the thing with some case. But if we're speaking to someone that is like completely, you know, like the opposite, and they're more of like, you know what, I just want to know how I'm going to feel when I'm working with you. Like, am I going to feel like the next Celine Dion, or what's going to happen, you know? So the thing is, a lot of times people tend to create content when they're posting content that is like their buyer type. They create and they post how they buy, but they're not taking into consideration how other people buy. So that's why it's important to understand what type of buyer types you have in your audience. And I know you're not thinking, well, how do I identify that? How do I know what type of buyer types do I have in my audience? That's where you talk to previous clients, because your prior clients are your best data. You want to analyze in terms of what is meaningful to them. You want to create content based off what is, you know, is important to people. Because if you're not seeing sales consistently, oftentimes it's because they're only speaking to one buyer type all the time, and they're just speaking to that same buyer type in a bunch of different ways. They're coming at that angle through text, through a carousel, through a selfie, but it's the same buyer type. So that's why it's important to understand what's going to move people in order to make a buying decision in that aspect. Really selling to your audience in a way that makes sense to them. That's my 2 cents.
Okay, how many times have I gone on mute now? Renee and Topher, I think they were counting. But yes, that was, first of all, amazing and epic. I loved everything about that. So can you like please tell us, like, how do we get to that point where like we're sharing information that they actually give a fuck? You're saying, like, how do we talk to their soul? So like for that marketing manager who's watching right now, like what is like that tangible thing they can do to like get off on the right foot to like really speak to someone's soul, and maybe not give them the, what was it, the 5 best ways that you can eat lima beans or something like that?
Yeah, you really want to speak to your prior clients, and look at your prior discovery calls in terms of what do people value in that aspect. Like, what are people in terms of like struggling with? What are people telling you in the conversations when you talk to them in your DMs? If you're not, you know, talking to them on a call in the aspect, it's really important to understand in terms of, okay, the type of people you're speaking to. If, let's just say, you're talking to someone that is really cares about authority and my brand is building trust in this house, so you want to highlight how doing in terms of that service is ultimately going to help them reach that goal. It's going to make them look more credible. It's going to create more authority. Ultimately, it's going, and you want to highlight also how your experience sets you apart, why you're different, because people need to see you as someone of authority in order to invest in you, in that aspect. someone that it's a little bit more analytical, then maybe you're going to talk to you in terms of what is more of like the transformation with data that is they're going to experience when they're working with you in that aspect. How is like in them investing with you going to lead to that ROI? These people are going to want a more super clear breakdown of what you offer. They're not going to want a sales page that is like longer than the wall of China. So yeah, that's what I have to share.
Like, who here, press 1 if you want a sales page that's longer than the wall of China, and 2 if you do not. I'd be really curious. I've never heard it described that way, but I kind of would want a sales page longer than the wall of China just to see what it's like. Okay, no, I digress. But I'd be curious, Maria, like, as a salesperson, what do you think about all this like educational content that marketing keeps putting on there, and how do you think we get beyond information?
Yeah, I think that those insights, the educational content is a great way to connect with potential buyers, even if they aren't in market in shopping, and to be that first one to market when they do decide, oh, wait, this is a problem for me. And I need to find a solution. And y'all are going to be top of mind if you're the ones that are educating them and building that relationship there. And then I think as a salesperson, it just makes us feel a whole lot less icky when there's actually something of value, and you can have a lot of conviction in contacting this person and asking about the content that they checked out, or the webinar, and just having a more organic conversation versus like a forced sales situation where you're like pushing them about products. So it just makes for a lot more fun in the sales process and for both sides.
Yeah. I don't know. I think right now there's probably an oversaturation of educational content, in my opinion. And like, there's not as much of talking to the soul of people. Because like,
wait, so how do we define educational content?
So like, like that marketing blog that's like, here are 5 ways you can create a live stream. And then,
okay.
Like how to walk on water with AI.
Yeah, that.
I am probably that guilty of all of these things. But because I just nerd out over like stats and things like that. So but that's probably just me. But yeah, no, I think that but ideally you could connect with your buyers by connecting with their soul, like looking at like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Like how will this piece of content help them achieve one of these things on this triangle, right? So I think maybe that's important to keep in mind if you are creating education content.
Oh, I don't think anyone's ever brought up, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, but like that's a good one, right? There's the triangle, and then it's like you've got like physical needs, and like remind me what are all on there. Like who here in the comments knows that? Like post a picture of it. Like that's a good one.
Winner chicken dinners. Anyone who knows the 5 and can put them in the comments, that'd be pretty dope.
Yes, and we won't even know if you go Google it. Like so, just you might as well. But I'm going to transition us now into topic 4, building a point of view for discovery calls. Okay. So who here is making discovery calls? I'm not a fan of sales. I'll be honest with you. I was a marketer before, and now I'm doing like marketing agency type of work and marketing coaching. And I've been doing some cold emails. Someone's helping me. BuzzBuilder's helping me. And so 50 emails a day are going out. And so I've been getting a lot of replies, and I've been booking a lot of calls, which has been amazing, but it is completely exhausting and moving people down that pipeline. So like anything that you can share for the people like me who are just struggling with these discovery calls, like how do we build a point of view on there, Maria?
Yeah. So I think like I said earlier, and when I was sharing my story, I naturally suck at sales. And so I think the one thing that has been my saving grace throughout my career has been the preparation, right? Like anyone can prepare. And I think that doing your research, doing your homework before these conversations can be an absolute lifesaver. You go in a lot more confident, and then also come in with a unique perspective and better quality questions that are going to ideally like get to like that second, third level deep of pain and add to your credibility, because you're not just asking these generic like qualification questions. That's not a good use of anyone's time. So I think that the way that you do that is again through pre-call prep, and you want to look at things like history, or like history within your CRM. If you've had conversations, like if there's been conversations with your company in the past, close loss opportunities, if there's any sort of call that's recorded and notes in there, like have that sort of context to pull from. Another place too is just like check out at the minimum, check out their website, their LinkedIn profile, and try to look for, like, before you're doing all of this research, I used to go down rabbit holes into their Twitter accounts, learning their dog's name and all that stuff, which is not necessarily a good use of your time. But if you can really pinpoint what are these indicators, what can be observed from someone from not inside the company, that could indicate a potential oversight or like blind spot for this potential buyer. And if you can categorize what those are, for example, it might be that they're hiring in the specific area that you support with your product, and showing just like increased investment there. It might be that there's new executive changes, they've just got a promotion, they've just got funding. There's all these traditional ones that are like filters in your sales nav or whatever contact information tool that you're using. But make sure you understand, like, how do they make money? How are they B2B, B2C? Like, who are their customers? What types of products do they sell? How long have they been there? What does their career background look like? What's one thing that you can either congratulate them on, or in their career, maybe they just got a promotion or something that they've shared that's a positive thing, or something that you genuinely have a connection. I think we talk a lot about the weather, and like it's just not a good use of anyone's time. So I think that those are the things that are going to help you connect and ask better questions to come into that conversation with a point of view based on the research that you've done. And if there's any way to be able to like categorize those different resources that you look at and what you're looking for specifically within those areas, and set a watch so that you don't go over time, and not going down rabbit holes if you're likely to do that like I am, then you're gonna show off to be more polished and more credible, and probably accelerate your sales process too if you're doing that type of discovery in the first call.
Yeah. Man, that's a great point. And like, there's a lot to unpack there with discovery calls. Do you make discovery calls, Kirsten? I'm guessing you do, since you're a solopreneur.
I do. I am reducing them like drastically though, and I'm going through like some like major shifts, like particularly just because I realize that I don't need to hop on a call with everybody in that aspect. In the sense of that, like some people, especially like people that are like driven, like decision makers, people that know what they want, that are in their power, people that are self-led, they don't even need a call. So that's been just like something fascinating. So yeah, I do them, but not as many as before.
That's interesting. Caesar's asking, who does a good job putting out this type of soul-reaching content? I think that was from the earlier topic. But like, is there someone you guys would suggest in terms of like soul-reaching content on LinkedIn that Caesar should go follow?
I would say one of my prior clients, Nat Berman, like his videos, they just like put you on the edge of your seat. They make you want to get your act together.
Okay.
He's a spitfire. Nat Berman.
Matt. Oh yeah.
No,
yeah.
NATBERMAN. Yeah, Nat Berman. Like the one that he tells he helps like a lot of executives and CEOs.
I love it. So there you go, Caesar. Anyone else has any great questions, let us know. Also about discovery calls. I know Topher, you're making discovery calls. You're doing everything in the sales pipeline. You're like full cycle. I'm looking at who else is here. Virginia, I would love to hear your discovery call experience. Selling without snake oil, Topher says. Usually good to sell without snake oil. But yeah, I don't know. Anything else either of you would want to share on building a point of view for your discovery call?
I think that Virginia makes a good point again too with this, is like, there's a fine line between personalization just plain creepy, she said, which is so true. Like, make sure that the the personalization that you're doing in your discovery and in like outbound prospecting is relevant, right? It's connected to the problems that you are help solving, and that it could use as like a jumping off point for your discovery to ask like just better quality, more in-depth questions. So I think that's something that I missed that I really wanted to make sure that to build the point of view and having this perspective, that's this value that everyone's been talking about, is they've got to connect like what you've noticed and the questions that you're asking.
Okay. So Randy, Sue, and Virginia both add be human. It's kind of what you're saying too. It's like be a normal person. Don't be a template. Okay. And Virginia was asking, is Nat, do you mean the t-shirt guy? He's amazing. Is he the t-shirt guy? Kirsten, any idea?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He is?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he is the one that wears the t-shirts and all of that. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I didn't know that. But yeah, that's your guy, Virginia. So everybody should go follow him. And if you could tag him in the comments, I'm not sure if I'm connected with him. I'm going to have to check that out. But, we've gone through the 4 topics. Now we have the guru of the week, and then we're going to have the prizes. But right now we still have some really excellent odds on these. So prize 1, there is 1 entry. Prize 2, there is 1 entry. Prize 3, there is 1 entry. Prize 4, there's 5. We've got for hashtag email 0. So if there's maybe everyone here has lavender. Is that possible? Is there anyone in the audience who doesn't have lavender who wants it? Hashtag email for lavender. We've got 8 entries for the headset, and we've got 2 now for the Wishly group and 7 for hashtag sales. So we're going to keep this running, but we're going to transition to the guru of the week. Ooh, ooh. Oh, that was not my best singing. That was probably the worst guru of the week I've ever done. Let me try that again. The guru of the week. Ooh, ooh. The guru of the week. Come on. All right. I'm pulling them up there. So tell us all about these 2. So Kirsten, you suggested Julius, who I'm actually not following. So I'm going to go tag him. And everyone, while she's talking about him, if you could tag him in the comments, go follow him. Let's spam him and congratulate him for being the guru of the week. And Kirsten, could you tell us all why we're spamming him right now?
He has no idea oh my gosh, that I tagged him. He is really such an excellent way of communicating in terms of like making these breakdowns in his carousels. They're so simple, they're so clean. It feels like you're walking into like an Apple store, and you're just like, you feel good. You feel like, okay, you know what? It's clean, it's clear, it's precise, concise. I would say he just really excels at that pretty much. And he also does a great job at storytelling as well, and really taking you along the journey and what's been possible.
Ah, that sounds awesome. Well, I tagged him. Anyone else, you should definitely tag him. Let's blow him up. Let's spam him. And the next one is Amy. I'm not going to try to pronounce her last name, but maybe you can, Maria. Can you tell us why we're following Amy and spamming her right now?
Yeah, Amy Rahovic. She is my mentor and like one of my best friends. And she has been in like the enablement sales space for forever. She's like a natural enabler, and puts out really, really great content from her years of as an individual contributor, and then also working with her clients. And she's just brilliant and a really good human doing good work for the sales community.
I love it. That's awesome. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like the audience wants to spam them. So I don't know what's going on there, y'all, but I'm going to move on. So yeah, definitely follow them though. Follow Julius and follow Amy. And I love to give the audience a hard time. I mean, like, have you guys ever heard of like the sales tactics or like seen it in the comments? People who are social selling are like being mean to each other. It's kind of like a funny thing. You got to be like really careful with it, and you got to be pretty smooth. But I like crack up with some of these like sellers out there who just like, they're just like I don't know, ripping on each other, but then they're like doing it in a way to like connect. It's kind of weird, bizarre, and funny. I don't know. Have you seen that at all? Or is it just me?
I've seen that.
You've seen
I
it.
think
All
it's-
right. Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes it can be confusing. So like if you see someone like fighting in the comments, go back and read it closely because they might like be like joking with each other. I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. But anyway, we've got prizes to give away. We've got now 3 entries on prize 1, 1 on prize 2. So someone else enter Cherry Assistant to enter to win 30 minutes with the DJ Kim. Let me pull all of the tags up here because we're going to start getting into these now. And I'm so excited when we give away prize 8. So that's the prize from both of you. So Kirsten, could you tell us really quick a little bit about your TikTok blueprint book that people would be winning?
Yes. So essentially, it walks people through in terms of how the platform works. Ultimately, some key things you do not want to miss when creating content, and how to make sure that your content gets seen, and the basics of building a brand on TikTok and attracting some clients.
That's awesome. And then Maria, you're sharing 30 minutes with yourself with a strategy session. What can you tell us about the 30 minutes?
Yeah. So I could walk you through like, hey, like I guess it could be 2 different things. Could be like you're prospecting yourself. You know, what can be the most efficient way to get like the volume that you need and the personalization in, and I can shadow your process and help that. And then second piece that if you're a sales leader that's responsible for pipeline, we can talk about like the messaging and who you're targeting, and just get like really refined and even like create an email together or some messaging for talk track for prospecting.
Awesome. Well, let's get into it and give these prizes away. So really quick, let's make sure we've got more than one. So Buzz Builder, if you tag Buzz Builder again, that's the course from Lydia, 10 hours of virtual assistant service free and 6 months on Buzz Builder. It's a cold email tool. So 1 entry on that one so far, everyone. 6 on Luna, 1 on email. So only one of y'all do not have lavender. So if anyone else does not have lavender, put hashtag email. We've got hashtag headset with 9 and 2 with the Wishly group and 8 with hashtag sales because everybody wants your guys' prize, of course. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's give away prize 1. Who's going to win? Is it going to be Carrie, maybe Malik, or am I seeing Randy in there? It's 10 blogs and 1 week in my program. Carrie, congratulations. You won prize 1. So excited. Let's go, Carrie. So you're going to be back in the program. So she's been in the program. So she's coming back to the program. And she's going to get 10 blogs. Let's go on to prize 2. Cherry Assistant. We've got 3 entries. Who's going to get that 30 minutes with DJ Kim? Is it Lauren, Carrie, or Topher? Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Carrie, this is your lucky night, girlfriend. You are getting 30 minutes with DJ Kim, and he's going to be a really great person for you to talk to right now. I'm really excited for you with that. And let's go ahead and give away prize 3. Who do we think is going to win prize 3? Did anyone else? Yes. Now we've got, actually, I don't think this is, yeah, this is prize 3. Buzz Builder, there's Carrie, there's Randy, there's Malik, and there's Topher. So Randy, congratulations. You are the winner of prize 3. So reveting.com/winner is our form that you can submit to give us your email so we can connect you with these brands via email. Otherwise, Renee will reach out to you in the DMs and get all of that as well. But let's give away this next prize. Who's going to win Luna? We've got 6 entries on Luna. I know Kate Irwin was really gunning for it. Who's going to be? Is it Michelle, Carrie, Kate, Randy, Sarah, Malik? Congratulations. You have won this prize for Luna.ai. That's awesome. I'm really excited for you. So if you could go to reveting.com/winner and fill out the form. Otherwise, Renee will reach out with a DM. Let's move on. What else are we giving away here? Hashtag email. I need one more entry on hashtag email. If there's anyone who does not have lavender, put hashtag email in the comments. Let's move into headset. We've got 9 entries there. Who's getting this headset? Is it going to be Dan? I see Malik. I see Renee. I see Sarah. I see Sarah. I see Dan. Randy! Congratulations, Randy. It's your lucky night. We've got 2 double winners tonight, Carrie and Randy. So you are the winner of the Headset Advisor headset. That's pretty major. Congratulations. Let's do the Wishley group. Now, this is 30 minutes with the Anish, Caesar, Malik, or Michelle. Who's it going to be? I think it's going to be Michelle. Congratulations, Michelle. So excited to connect you to Anish. Reveting.com/winner. Please fill out that form. Otherwise, we'll chase you down and get your information one way or another. Let's see. So, Lavender, who's going to be? We've got Topher or Malik. And I'm pretty sure that Topher, we've gone through this before. You just entered to help me run this, so I appreciate that. So, Malik, either way, you are the prize winner of Lavender. So, Reveting.com/winner. Please fill out the form, share your email with us, and we'll connect you via email with the brands. And this is the last prize. And it's the most popular hashtag sales with our guests. Who is going to get this special prize? I see some new names in there. Jill. Topher! Congratulations, Topher. You are a winner for prize 8. So excited to have you. Topher's awesome, by the way. So he's been like coming to this since the very beginning. So Topher, thanks for being here. I'm excited to have you. You know the drill. Go to Reveting.com/winner. But I'm pretty sure we already have your email, so we probably don't need you to fill out the form. But with all of that said, everyone, that's the end of Whiskey Wednesday with 10 minutes over. I apologize. But we had awesome guests, so we probably could have talked for another hour. At least I could have. And I'm going to. So if anyone can join me, I'm going to be on the after party. Guests would love to have you. It's a Zoom account. So if you go to Reveting.com/afterparty, it basically redirects you to Zoom, and then audience members, you can come. We do intros. We talk about, they share their feedback about the episode, and they ask, if the guests attend, it's their chance to ask the guests some questions. But we'd love to have you there, Reveting.com/afterparty. But before we hop over there, Kirsten, could you let the audience know how they could reach you if they want to reach you after the show?
Yes, you are welcome to go to my LinkedIn profile. I have a whole library of content. If you are intrigued by anything you see on there, you're welcome to smash my bell, hit follow, and stay tuned for more content. And hope to see you rocking and rolling in the feed.
Smash that bell. And how about you, Maria? How can viewers contact you after the show?
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, follow me on LinkedIn Connect, send me a DM, and I'd love to have a conversation.
Awesome. All right. Well, I guess that's a wrap for another Whiskey Wednesday. And that's right, Renee. The party doesn't stop. Head on over to the after party. Would love to have you. Guess what do you think? You're going to be able to join us? To put you on the spot. Kirsten, I won't make you answer right away. If you pop in, we'd be like super grateful, but we understand it's late and people got to eat dinner and go to their families. So it's all good, but we would love to have you either way. Audience, Topher, everyone who's typically there would love to have you there. If you've never come join us. You never know what kind of group you're going to get. Sometimes we get like 30 people. Sometimes we get like 3 people. So you just never know. And it's always a good time though. And I always end it with a meditation to help us all go to sleep, because that's something I do in my group coaching too. Is the last 5 minutes is always a reflective meditation on what we've gone over. It's good to just give ourselves, our brain, that little bit of time to just think for a minute, because very few of us do. But with that, thank you, Kirsten. Thank you, Maria, so much for coming on. I was really grateful to have you.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. All right, I'm going to close this out with the video. Thank you, audience. See you over on Zoom. Peace.